Hello and good evening, one and all. I am Anupam Sai.
And I'm Deepa Kumari, and here we have with us our General Secretary Sports Board, Mr. Chandra Sekhar Ajay. With the beautiful promises made last year, let's see how much he is able to walk the talk with us here at CBS Campus Broadcasting System, IIT Guwahati.
Okay, Mr. Ajay, what changes have you brought in as the sports secretary of IIT Guwahati?
Okay, so currently our system at IIT Guwahati, sports culture at IIT Guwahati, is in the phase of process optimization, if you want to say. So we have certain processes that are recurring every year. So what I have seen over 4 years of my stay here is that there has been somewhere some inefficiency in those processes, in terms of, like, for example, every year we order for equipments that we'll be using for that complete year. We call it indent, right?
Yeah.
Purchase indent.
Yeah.
So what I have seen here is that due to the strategic location of this campus in Guwahati, we have a limited set of vendors who usually code for that indent.
Yeah.
So due to which we get delayed, giving of these goods and stuff. So what I have thought is I have contacted the secretaries of other IITs and I got contacts from them. So what usually happens is when we are going to do this indent, firstly it goes to a newspaper ad, and then from where the vendors, those who want to quote for that materials, and then they give us the order. So the problem here is that we are not getting visible to more and more vendors, and due to which we are constrained to less number of vendors, which is causing a very huge number of problems for us.
Okay.
Right. So what I've done, as I already told you, I've gathered contacts which I'll be giving to my next secretary. Right. So he or she will be contacting these vendors once the newspaper ad is out. He or she will say that, okay, we want these items for us, and we want to order these. So could you kindly give us a quote?
Yeah.
So where we'll have more number of options to choose from, and from these what we have is we'll get a timely delivery of all the sporting equipments that we need for that year, and then in a very less price. Right. Second thing, this is one part of it. Second thing is that this year we have conducted Spirit.
Yeah.
And what happened this time is last year Spirit has been conducted by the help of the Students Gymkhana Council, the Senate body.
Yeah.
The UG senators have taken a predominant role in it. So, and then the then General Secretary, he thought of a need to make a separate team for Spirit, just like Alcher and Technician. So he started working on it. We have come up with a constitution. We have agreed upon the Spirit constitution. We got it approved in front of the Institute SAC.
Yeah.
And then this time we are able to come up with a separate team which is delivered only for Spirit.
Yeah.
So what happens here is the load of the club secretaries and the general secretary goes a bit off, right? And then when you have a specific team working on a thing, you can expect it to be done at a very high level.
Okay.
Right. And then recently, for last time we have tried organizing the summer camp. So although we did it, but it was on a very small scale and very unorganized.
Yeah.
So this time, after our performance at the Inter-IIT sports meet, so we felt that there is a need of summer camp for sure, and currently we are working on it. Hopefully we'll get it done this time in a very organized manner.
Okay.
Okay, if you say, I'll proceed to next question.
Sure.
What do you think about our performance in Inter-IIT, and do you think our standing has improved from previous inters?
Okay, so the last Inter-IIT was at IIT Bombay.
Yeah.
So from then they have decided to bifurcate the general championship into boys and girls. So initially it used to be only normal general championship.
Yeah.
Now we have boys and girls both. So back then in boys we have won one gold medal, one silver medal. The football team got second position.
Yeah.
And girls team, they performed really well. And this time, in case of girls, we have improved our standing. So we currently stand at 4th position.
Okay.
So with another IIT, another IIT ties with us 4th and 5th. But since we have got one gold position, we are above them by a position.
Okay.
In case of boys, it has been the same from last year. So now we were 9th last time, and this year also we stand 9th position.
Okay. So, do you think IIT Guwahati is moving to the GC, or is it just a fairy tale?
No, it is not, but yeah, we are moving towards it, but we really need to work on it. As we are saying, the administration has realized the importance of having more practice for students, student contingent of inter-IIT.
Yeah.
Right? So yeah, this time they are coming up with a new proposal of having summer camp. Last time they had the problem of recruiting coaches.
Okay.
It took quite a long time.
Okay.
And then so we have proposed for a change in structure of recruiting the coaches and stuff. So yeah, we are slowly moving towards it, but we really need to work on that. It is not too far away, but it has to be. We need to get to that with a quite lot of work.
Okay. So, do you think our coaches are up to the mark, especially in the sports we are lagging in?
Okay. So, lagging is in the sense, apart from very few games, we have got nothing in all the games. But yes, we got a very good set of coaches. They've all been recruited. They have been recruited in 3 phases.
Okay.
Like first phase, like everybody else, coaches do have these degrees and other educational background to which they have to come. So first time we have put very high bar on this educational qualification.
Okay.
So there's this thing called BPed, MPed, Bachelor of Physical Education, Master of Physical Education, and then they're all players who have already represented all their states at the national level, or somebody have even represented India at some levels.
Yeah.
So yes, as a player and as a coach, most of them have this experience of teaching teams, and they are very good at teaching the teams and stuff. So the place where we lagged this time is practice, I can say, and then the practice matches that we have played.
Yeah.
So as compared to the other IITs, so we have done a little less practice and played less number of practice matches.
Okay, so are you going to conduct more tournaments, because you said it in your agenda that
Yes.
you would try to get the teams to go to state and district level championships, but then competitions. But how many teams have actually gone to competitions?
Okay, so for the competition thing, the basketball team, they have gone to some tournament here at the Don Bosco University, and then the weightlifting team, they have been to the All Assam weightlifting championship, and then the table tennis team, they have gone to participate at the IITBHU sports festival called Spardha.
Okay.
Right. So apart from that, volleyball boys team and girls team, they have played outside tournaments in the very local itself, in the local Assam level. So small club-wise tournaments.
Yeah.
So we really have to increase the number of competitions that our team is going to participate. And this time what we are doing is we are proposing to register our IIT Guwahati as a sporting club. What usually happens is we cannot directly take part in the district and state level tournaments. So we need to register ourselves for that. We need some special permissions for that, and then we need to be a part of some association where decision body, and there is some stuff like this which we need to do. So yes, again this move has come after this inter-IIT sports meet, and considering the need of practice matches, we are going to propose to the institute level that we need to register ourselves as a club. So if that is done, I don't think there is a problem with participating from the next time. So from next time onwards, you will see our students participating at state and national levels.
Yeah.
And apart from that, I didn't mention the chess club, the board games club. They have been very active in playing outside tournaments.
Okay.
One of our players is representing a state in the national games next month.
Okay.
So.
My next question would be, being sports secretary, how do you think that sporting culture in girls can be improved here at IIT Guwahati?
So,
like we see less participation from girls' side. So what can be done to urge that?
The thing is, this is not the problem only in the case of IIT Guwahati. The problem is with other IITs as well, right?
Yeah.
So, what I have seen over my 4 years is that the administration has been doing, everything that to get girls into participating into events, right? But what usually happens is girls, they come to play, last for a year, and then we see a very less number of girls who have been active over the entire course of their stay here at IIT Guwahati.
Yeah.
So I think there is more need for girls to come up, right? If there is something that we are not doing from the administration side, yeah, we are open to listen to the suggestions from their side, right?
Yeah.
So far, it is kind of a very tricky puzzle that we don't know what girls, what is not driving girls towards the sports.
Yeah.
So yeah, if we are not able to get it, if somebody can give us suggestions and stuff, we are ready to do it. And yeah, it is more a kind of priority towards sports, right? So I have figured out this is my side of the story.
Okay.
So I have seen that there is a sort of fear in playing sports, dedicating that time of the day for playing sports, right? From evening 6 to 9, to participate at the inter-IIT level, you need to be on the ground for 3 hours doing regular stuff, and then when you get back to the hostel, all you feel is drowsiness, and you don't get to allow time to studies and stuff. So yeah, maybe that is the thing that is not allowing girls to participate. So if they come out of that fear, right? So I'm not saying that is not correct. Fearing is not correct. But yeah, many of them, we have a very pool of talent around in our campus, right?
Yeah.
Even right now, if you take time and see, there are very good players who are not at all coming to the ground because of other reasons.
Yeah.
Right? While we respect their reasons, we request them to come out to the ground, inspire some of the other girls, and the seniors play a very crucial part in. Right. So if seniors say that you need to play for this team, this is your team, this is your IIT. So words like that make a very strong impact on them. That is what I feel.
Okay. And what about the freshers? You had a freshers camp held this year. That's what you said in your agenda.
Okay.
But then it was not really that sustainable. Most of the freshers just come for the attendance in the essay course, but they don't come regularly to the course. Most of them.
Yeah.
So what steps could you take to improvise that?
Improvise.
So yeah, that's basically not a camp, right? That is a part of the academic curriculum here.
Yeah.
So 2 years back we didn't used to have these essay courses.
Yeah.
All we had is PT, and then you used to wake up in the morning, go to PT, and then come back. Yeah. So what we found is, if we get students to play some sort of the game in the evenings, maybe even if they are not interested initially, some may get to play. When you come to play a new game, you get interested. Like I'm not saying everybody, right? As you said, most of them come for the attendance, right? But out of 10, 2 or 3, they really turn up, and they change themselves into players and captains of the teams. Yeah. So on the camp camp for the freshers, I think you got a mail 2 weeks prior about the advanced intra-IIT, right? So that is the camp I was talking about. Okay. So right after Sparda ends, after Alcharinga, so we are going to start camp for freshers. Okay. So in that camp, everybody is allowed to come and play, right? Out of which we'll select some people to participate in the summer camp. Yeah. So as I already said, summer camp we are going to organize this time. Okay. So they'll go straight into the summer camp where they learn more stuff, and then by the end of the next year, I think most of them will be ready to play the intra-IIT level. So
will they get any incentives to come and join because?
Yeah, like it's in the vacations, and 40 days stay here would really be a big.
I cannot promise on the incentives part. We really need to work on those. Yeah. Maybe we can. What I've observed in other IITs is that students pay for themselves, but once they are in the intra-IIT team, once they get selected into the intra-IIT team, they get some of their expenses back. Yeah. So maybe we could do something similar to that in our IIT as well. Yeah. And apart from that, making the stay and other things free. Yeah. Maybe we could give them good diet and stuff.
Yeah,
So
at
these are
least-
some of the options that we have on cards. But
yeah, at least get them milk and eggs
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah. So we have those options on the cards as of now, but I cannot guarantee you because it's still on work.
Okay.
That is it.
Yeah. And my next question would be, you mentioned in your agenda last year that you'll focus in the strength and fitness training of inter-IIT contingent. I just wanted to ask, did it really happen or?
Yes, not to 100 full extent, but
Yeah.
to an extent it happened. So until August, we have requested coaches to focus mainly on fitness, right?
Yeah.
Because you're back from home after 3 months of home stay, and then
Yeah.
coming here, you're all out of your fitness.
Yeah.
So we have requested coaches to focus mainly on fitness and stuff.
Yeah.
Make them run for long distances, do some gym workouts, and once we had this board meeting at IIT Kanpur, after coming here, we thought that it would be helpful if we have a common fitness session on weekends. So we have started a cross country run every Saturday. Cross country is like 6 kilometer run around the campus. In the morning on Saturdays, where every club has to participate on their part. Initially it took for a month or so, for 4 days, for a month in sense 4 days, right, 4 weekends. Most of the clubs have participated, almost not everybody did. So yeah, there the fitness part was taken care of, and then the strength part we left it to the liberty of coach, because if the particular games coach feels that there is a need of strength to the contingent, he is allowed to take their team to the gym, to the weightlifting room and do all this stuff, right? So I myself in athletics, where our coach, he got these fitness items prepared from our workshop, and then he made us run through all these exercises and stuff, so which were not there last year. So yes, to an extent it happened, but we need to do it on a more rigorous level.
Yeah.
So if it needs to be more structured and all.
Okay. Like having proper sessions, gym sessions and all.
Mm-hmm.
Could you set that up?
Having proper sessions, actually the problem we faced is the gym is open for a very limited number of hours, and then
has a little less equipment.
Yes,
Comparatively.
little less space, equipment, and it is crowded for almost all the slots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was very difficult for us to find some slot where we could allow only inter-IIT contingent, and we cannot do that, right? Because only allowing inter-IIT contingent and not others will not be a good thing to do. So initially we planned on doing it on weekends in the mornings, like Saturdays and Sundays.
Okay.
But we saw respective clubs had their own schedule of playing some practice matches and stuff.
Yeah.
So yes, in connection to this, we have wrote a letter for the extension of gym for the space that we have.
Okay.
So we have ordered some equipments, cardio equipments this year.
Yeah.
So they are sure to be delivered in a short time.
Okay.
So once they come, we are going to extend our gym space, and then we'll put all these equipments, and then maybe next year we can do it on a very timetable, giving timetable slots and stuff for other games.
Okay.
Okay. So as the idea of summer camp is really good, did you speak to the administration about it?
Yes, actually I did it last year itself. So my idea was to have summer camp in 2 phases, right? So first phase will be like right after this semester ends. It will be for around 15 or 30 days. That depends on the administration. What we thought is we'll conduct trials for students, and then we'll ask them to come and participate, and we'll select some of them to stay in the summer camp.
Okay.
So at this level, the selection criteria would be of very less strict, right? So if you're interested to play, you're in, something like that. So after the first camp, we'll again have a set of trials where we select a very few number of students for the second camp.
Okay.
Right. So they themselves they'll have to come in the second camp, and then they'll have that continuum for the rest of the semester. So what we see is, right after coming to the July-November semester, there is a sort of this inertia, right? So people don't really come to grounds.
Yeah.
And then in addition to this, we have this weather factor in our campus here, in our surroundings, right? It rains a lot during July and August. So it makes people more less ready for coming to practice.
Yeah.
So we sort of tried to have this second phase of camp 15 days before the start of that semester. And then once they start doing it, when the other students catch up with them, how would it feel, as a freshers when you come into the campus, every team is practicing for integrity, right?
Yeah.
So it'll students will themselves feel interested, right, in what is going on here, some rigorous practices going on. But as I said, the problem here was till last year we had coaches on contract only for 8-month period, right? Not 8-month period, 230 days. And that 230 days period ends in the month of April.
Okay.
Right. So what we couldn't ask them to extend the tenure for the next 2 months. And then we had this added weather factor with us. So last year, even though some of the clubs they have done it, it was not on a full scale because there were no coaches to teach people.
So you said about the weather, right? That
Yes,
when it rains, people. So why can't we have indoor courts for the sports?
Correct. Right. So that is the thing. If we want to have summer camps at a full scale, we need to have indoor courts.
Yeah.
Right. And like our some of the other institutes have been constructing these indoor courts. Right. We had one at IIT Bombay. So while I was speaking to the IIT Kharagpur's GenSec, he got this idea of indoor courts approved by his director in the last sem. So I'm in constant touch with him. So I've been asking him tips and stuff for getting this done, and we'll put this approval in front of our director, sir, in a month or so.
Okay.
So we're working on it, but the problem here is that we need to do the entire architecture stuff here. So where do you want this, and the area itself is a problem. Everywhere there is some construction going on. So we didn't find a place to build this indoor complex. So if indoor courts come, the structure of the preparation for inter-IIT would be in this semester, in the event semester, all the teams will start practicing, right? And then we'll have trials for the summer camp, and then students will get selected for summer camp, and then they'll have summer camps, right? And to facilitate summer camps, we'll have these indoor courts, right? We'll be having indoor courts for basketball and volleyball. So other games we need to work on, right? Hockey we cannot have.
We can't.
So basketball and volleyball we are working on.
Okay.
So even if these two games get added to the list of games that can be currently played, all the indoor games you can currently play, right? Table tennis, badminton, squash. You can anyways play now. So if we add these two games to that list, it will be quite benefited. Right? And then once the summer camp ends, we'll get back to the July-November semester. There also these indoor courts will help, since it rains a lot during that time also. It helps us give a sort of continuity in the practice, and then students will get a better practice. Right. So this is a long-term goal for the IIT Guwahati, because we'll be the host for inter-IIT next time in the 2021 or something.
2021.
Right. So by that time, I hope that these will be ready. Right. Considering the weather factors here. Maybe I need to work on the approval part.
So what do you think about the spirit competition which is being held? So will it grow bigger?
Spirit in the sense, are you talking about the fest or spirit as?
Spirit as the fest.
Okay, as the fest.
Yeah.
Right. So yes, if you really see the competition level of competition at Spirit is quite good. Right. So it is not in every game that we have bagged gold medals, right?
But
so
will we get more participants and other teams?
Yes. The problem here is the time, right? We only have a window of 3 days, and then we're having these many number of games, right? With the infrastructure we have, with the number of courts we have, there is an upper limit to which we can take this participation number to. You cannot keep on calling teams to come and participate, right? This is unlike technician also, we need to accommodate them for the playing part, right? So currently we have a fully functional football court, right? We can use the athletics field as football court, but at the same time, we should not allow athletics events to take part, right? But the events which take place over 7 days in inter-IT, if you wanted to conduct in 3 days, athletic events have to go on throughout the day, right? Then you cannot use the football ground. So we are left with only one football ground, right? On one football ground, you cannot accommodate more than 3 to 4 matches per day. So which boils down to 8 teams, right? So yeah, like I was saying, there is an upper limit on this participation, and this time we were sort of close to that limit. We had to start cricket matches well in advance, right? We have started cricket matches 4 days in advance.
For Spirit?
Yes, for Spirit. We had 2 grounds, right?
Yeah.
So for a day we can play 2 matches in both the grounds. This time we had 8 teams participating in cricket.
Okay.
So 8 teams is like we have divided them into 2 groups, 4 and 4, and then we had to make them play 4x2 number of matches. It was really tough for us to do it, right? So yeah, the participation number will increase, but it will stop at a time.
So okay, and your agenda had like a very convenient points, and was that because you were the only contingent or only contestant? Sorry, my bad. Contestant.
No, it's not that, right? So even if somebody else had to contest against me, maybe I would have had these points, right? So as I said, we are in the process of optimizing the stuff that we are doing, right? It is not the time that we go behind fancy stuff, right?
Yeah.
I cannot make fake promises and then in the end coming like, oh, I cannot do it.
Yeah.
Right? I cannot write that I'll get indoor courts in one year of span of time.
Yeah.
Right? It cannot be done in this at institute big as this.
Yeah.
Right? So I have tried to keep it sort of at a level which people will believe, right? So although there might be somebody who like those fake promises, like I might say I'll get these summer camp done in the next year itself, in the April month, right after I take up the post.
Yeah.
So yes, as I said, it is not because I was the only contestant. It is because I thought we need to work on the stuff that we are doing right now and then improve that.
Yeah.
And then once it is done, we need to work on new stuff.
Okay.
That is it.
And so what steps have you taken for easing up the work for the next sports psyche?
Yeah, I've been doing only that thing the entire year. Right?
Okay.
So I have tried to do something new in that very process that we do every year.
Yeah.
And then I face some problems, practical problems in doing that stuff.
Yeah.
So whatever I have learned through my experience in the past 4 months and coming 3 or 4 months, I let my next secretary know that these are the things that you need to do at this point of time.
Yeah.
Right. Till now we have this idea of when to do things.
Yeah.
Right. This month you need to do this. Before this thing you have to do it.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to give the next secretary. So this is the date before which you have to do this.
Yeah.
Right. These are the steps you need to take for this not to get delayed.
Yeah.
Right. No matter how early you start things, it might get delayed up somewhere in some sections.
Yeah.
This is a very big institute, and you have one paper has to go across a wide number of sections to get approved. Right. That may take time. So while I was doing stuff, I kind of neglected some of those steps, right? Where due to which I had to face very tough problems, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I let next secretary know that these are the things you should do, these are things you should not do, and then once he or she does that, they'll have enough time to think on the new things, and that can be set up here in IIT Guwahati for improving the sports culture.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like tomorrow we have to leave for Kanpur. This time it happened.
Yeah.
So today we got our jerseys and our tracks. So really this procrastination is not good at all.
So maybe you don't know, like during the Bombay Inter-IT we got it in between our travel. We had to travel to Bombay.
Travel.
Like From here we went to Delhi,
Yeah.
and then from Delhi we went to Bombay through to Rajdhani Express.
Yeah.
Right, we were waiting for our train at Delhi to Bombay when we got our tracksuits.
Okay.
Right, they have
Yeah.
distributed them on day 2,
Oh
Okay.
God.
just before the
Yeah,
March
some were not
past, right.
fitting, some were loose, some were.
Yeah, that problem happens, right? Different companies have different size charts, and then we give a number based
Yeah.
on the stuff we usually wear, and then that might create problem.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay, and somebody asked you in your during your speech that would you try getting more equipment and facilities to the hostels for the respective, like for the hostels to improve in sports?
Yes. Actually, we could have already done it by now, but the problem was that we have given an estimate budget of some amount,
Okay.
and then we got a amount very less than that.
Okay.
Due to which we couldn't think on giving equipments to the hostels,
Okay.
right? So we had to use those money to get our usual stuff done,
Okay.
right? And currently we are almost, kind of ending that budget,
Okay.
right? We currently have very less amount of budget left. We have to work on it because I need to see how much budget is left, and then we need to ask the hostel secretaries, what do you really need,
Yeah.
right? Hostel secretaries have been asking us about pool table in every hostel.
Okay.
So for that to be done, currently 2 hostels have it.
Okay. Yeah.
Right, Kameng and Siam.
Yeah.
Right. For the next, all the rest of hostels, we need to sit down and look at the numbers, whether we could do it with the amount of budget that we have,
Yeah.
and if not, maybe we could do it. For a set of 2 or 3 hostels, we'll get it done this year.
Yeah.
From next year onwards, they'll get it.
Yeah.
So partly because the approval of budget is not in our hands.
Okay.
Right, we have asked for a certain amount of money, we got less than that because of the allotment of those budgets to the new IITs,
Yeah.
right? So we should see if it happens this time around. If not, if we get the right amount of money that we have asked for, maybe we could definitely do it.
Yeah,
Right?
it
Even now I'm not denying that we cannot do it.
Yeah.
There is a chance, but the chances are very less.
Yeah, it could also help, like we want inter-IT participants can even use the hostel gyms for their fitness.
Yes,
training.
yes. Yeah, currently the hostel gyms have equipment, but that is not really kind of.
It doesn't. It is only for bodybuilding.
Yes.
The
It's not up to the
lift
mark,
weights and.
So yeah, we have sanctioned the gym equipments to the hostel just to do this fancy stuff, right?
Yeah.
So we cannot give equipments to do big stuff, sophisticated equipments
Yeah.
for hostels, right? We already have an institute gym for that.
Yeah.
What we wanted to do is to lessen the traffic at this gym. So we have given those set of equipments that are used by most of the students. So yes, that is it.
So, what do you think about the ongoing Sparda competition? How is?
Competition as such, yes. This time we have been pretty tough in terms of rules and regulations.
Okay.
So we have tried to be more strict, but
Yeah.
seems like that didn't work. We are facing some kind of problems in getting players. We had very less number of time. We had only 20 days to complete many events,
Yeah.
and then more or less, many a times we are getting these clashes in the schedule. So what we are fighting is that while you have a match here at one ground, those set of players are busy playing another match in
spot,
another
yeah.
ground.
Yeah, right.
And then we have asked players not to change names once they are given the list.
Okay.
So yeah, while the hostel secretaries are really mad at us for not allowing changes,
Yeah.
maybe they should understand that we also have our set of problems from our side, right?
Yeah.
So that is the reason we had to do it. The competition is very good,
Yeah.
right? Apart from some minor happenings that usually take place. Right?
Yeah.
So everything is being taken care of, and almost most of the games have come up to the end of the league stage.
Yeah.
We'll have knockouts very soon, which will be very interesting.
Okay. Okay, and I wanted to ask you this. We don't have proper infrastructure. Like, suppose if we are playing in the basketball court, if I want to use the washroom, I have to go all the way to Old Sac, which is pretty
Right.
far.
Yeah.
So, can we get better infrastructure for every ground?
Actually, we have one washroom there. Did you see that, the newly constructed one? It was constructed only a year back. The one beside athletics track. Right?
Okay, huh.
So yeah, you don't need really
That's logged most of the time.
But yeah, you cannot find a place that is very accessible to everybody in between the grounds, right?
Yeah.
So that was the place where we could use, where we could have those kind of setting.
Yeah.
So the then Senate, the last year Senate, they have worked on, picking up a location that is suitable for changing stuff.
Yeah.
So we have it constructed last year, but it is kind of being used very less.
Okay.
So I don't think so there is a possibility of having these, washrooms and stuff for every ground.
Okay.
That is it.
And about the Dihing basketball court, it's not properly maintained. It's right now, if you go look at it, it's really dirty
It's
and
full of weeds everywhere.
yeah, and even it doesn't have proper lighting. So how are you planning to improve?
The present basketball secretary, he has given a letter to install lighting for that court.
Yeah.
And it's been months that they have been preparing this layout of how should the lights be and what angle should they do. They have been doing this for the past 3 or 4 months, right?
Okay.
So we need to push them hard for getting this done before our tenure gets end.
Yeah.
Once it is done, we'll have the paper approval on with us, and then the work part, it will get started from next year onwards.
Yeah.
Right. And once the lights are up, once people start playing, you don't find this problem of having grass and weeds on it, right?
Yeah.
Only because it is unused, people don't really take care of that.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
Yeah. So then, thank you, Mr. Ajay.
Thanks a lot.